Alright, so today we'll be talking about stabby things that you can put on your M16s or your M4s. We're going to be talking about 3 bayonets, and this, again, if you've watched my previous video, this is a US Air Force Mixmaster wearing Desert Storm stuff with the Alice kit, and I don't know if people are interested in this sort of stuff, we've got a military surplus mechanical watch. I don't remember the model number. I'll put it on the bottom. Okay, so bayonets. We're going to talk about 3 bayonets. They range from eras from Vietnam to Gulf War to Operation Iraqi Freedom. They're pretty simple. They're just sharp pieces of metal that you stick on top. The way that you put it on, you'll notice that this rifle is looking a little different. I had to take the 203 barrel off. Fun fact, you can't have a 203 and a bayonet. That'll make the gun a little too scary for some people, so you gotta take the 203 barrel off. But anyway, you got your bayonet. They're pretty simple. They haven't changed this for a while. Like the Garand has the same sort of attachment, M14 has the same sort of attachment. You got this loop that you put around the barrel. There's a mechanism that will attach to the bayonet lug on your front sight block. To get it off, you squeeze and you pull it forward. Okay, so this is the M7 bayonet from Vietnam War. It was also used in Gulf War. I actually have 2 of these. Let's see if I can do this without stabbing my ass. Okay. There we go. All right. Don't want to stab my butt. Don't want an extra butthole. Here's another one. This one is a little bit, I like this one a little bit more. Let's see if it gets in focus. This one has a Colt marking on it, so it was made or contracted out for Colt. You can get these new old stock at Numerous Gun Parts. I think they're like 80 or 70 bucks. I would recommend picking them up because once they're gone, they're going to be gone, as with every sort of surplus. I think these will be actually a little bit more collectible. So get them while you can. Holy Grail is always new old stock, stuff that has not been issued in its original condition. So here, yeah, another M7 bayonet, and it will come, I would recommend getting the sheath, and that would be the M8A1 sheath. Okay, and that sheath will go on your Alice gear. Okay, try to make this video a little bit shorter. Okay, so if you noticed, if you look closely, this is not US military surplus. This is evil Russian surplus. Here is your AK bayonet. I don't remember the model number. Again, it'll be on the bottom. But you'll see that these knives are pretty cheap to get. They will fit on your, I have an AK-74. I think they also fit on AK-47 type rifles. But this was the first attempt at making a combat knife / bayonet. And you'll see that the Americans actually wanted to copy this sort of thing in the next knife that I show you. Okay, so this is definitely an inspiration for the future bayonets that I'm going to show. Okay, again, not stabbing myself in the ass. I teased this in my M9 video. Here, speaking of M9, this is the M9 bayonet. This one was made by Frobus. These are very popular in the game Counter-Strike. They're probably just as expensive in Counter-Strike for the skin versus in real life. I paid, I think, $200 for this, but they're going up and up. This one was made by Frobus. You can get some made by Land-K or Buck Knives. Buck and Frobus were like the original manufacturers, and Land-K was an older one. Some of the Land-K ones are, the metallurgy is a little suspect, so you might find them for really cheap, but I've seen everything kind of been going up in prices because people just like the profile of this knife. This knife in particular is not that good for people that actually are into knives. You'll see in I'll have a few other videos on knives. The thing that people don't like is that it does not have a full tang blade, meaning that the metal of the blade kind of ends here and you screw it in. But let me show you, because you want to see it, or I want to see it. This is what it looks like on your M16. So, looks pretty cool. And yeah, that's the M9 bayonet. the sheath for it is kind of massive. I don't know if I can, here. It's got a sharpening stone on it. I would say they are purely collectible. I mean, all these things are purely collectible, but if you want a good kind of bang for your buck knife that you can actually use and is a good bayonet, the third option is what I'm going to show. This one, all right, it's kind of hard to have an M16, a very heavy M16, and do all this shit at the same time. Okay, again, not trying to stab my butt. Let's take all the buttons off. There we go. Okay, the last knife we have. This is a big boy. It's similar as a kind of combat knife slash bayonet. This one, if you can see here, US Marine Corps. There's the EGA, Eagle of an Anchor. This is your OKC 3S knife made by Ontario. Right, and I'll say on this side, because we like the markings, Combat USMC. So you can buy these brand new from Ontario, or you can get them surplus. So the M9 bayonets you'll have to get like on eBay. They're hard to come by, but these ones here, there's a few sites that are actually still selling them surplus, and you'll get them for around $100. And in contrast to the M9 bayonet, this one has a full tang blade. So the blade steel will go all the way to the hilt. So it's a little bit more on the durable side. And the bayonet is just, it's pretty big. Okay, so let's show you on this. So this one's probably more on the era of Operation Iraqi Freedom. But there we go. That's what that one looks like. Pretty nasty. So, are these practical whatsoever? You never want them on here while you're trying to shoot. Bayonets are kind of a thing of the past, but now the newer ones you can kind of use as an actual, like, you know, a camping knife or an outdoor knife. And the M7 bayonets are kind of on the cheap side. They're just pretty collectible, I would say. I mean, all these knives are pretty collectible. But I think these ones right now, the best time to get surplus is kind of when they are surplus. If you buy them on the third market, they'll be expensive. They made a lot of the M7 bayonets, so there's just plenty that you can get. These ones right now I'm seeing on the surplus market, again, for like $80 to $120. You know, if you get one that's kind of used, I don't know, looks pretty cool to me. Again, make sure you get the sheath. The sheath has a sharpening stone on it as well. But the M9 bayonets, I think because of the popularity, I think sort of surplus was really more, I don't know if surplus is more popular now, but I think it was more popular maybe like 10 years ago or 20 years ago, like for a lot of the 90s stuff. The M9 bayonet is very expensive. So if you really like the knife like I do, then you buy one. But if you're looking for something where you just want to have a bayonet on your M16 or your M4, and if you're doing like a Marine stuff, get this one. But if you're doing like a Vietnam or retro stuff, maybe try the M7 bayonet. So anyway, that's it. I don't want to go prolong it too long. We're at 200 subscribers right now, so I'm pretty excited about that. So thank you for anyone who's been watching, subscribing, or liking. I'm going to keep making these videos, so you know, appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Bye.